In recognition of Pride Month, we're thrilled to welcome Tom Powner, a trailblazer and expert in the career services industry, and also a member of the LGBTQ community. With over 25 years in business development operations and HR, Tom founded Career Thinkers Incorporated in 2010, driven by witnessing numerous subpar resumes and unprepared candidates. Career Thinker offers career services and support and was expanded in 2014 to include recruitment for national companies. Known for integrating technology into career consulting and improving processes, Tom has built a strong industry reputation. He has delivered over 300 career workshops, seminars, and webinars since 2011, aiming to enhance client and colleague knowledge of best practices in career advancement. And I know I have benefited greatly from you, Tom, as well. So welcome here today.
Well,
Welcome,
thanks.
Tom.
Thank you. Wow, that was me, huh? Nice introduction. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Wonderful. So, Tom, and thank you again. So I thought we would just kind of start off with, from everything you've seen, do you see any barriers that the members of the LGBTQ plus community maybe face in their career path or in advancement? And we as career service providers, what can we do to support them better?
I think everyone's situation is different. Yeah, everyone's career path backwards from where they started to where they're going, both are very different. So I think that could be widely different from, really having some traumatic roadblocks, some people not having any roadblocks at all. But I do think in general, there are some extra boundaries that pop up. And sometimes it also depends on where you live and what are you doing for a career, what type of industry. So I think there's a wide range of barriers that we can face. Discrimination of any kind is out there. I do think the LGBTQ community do face a lot more. I've been fortunate enough, like before we started this call, we talked about, I've always been known as the director of operations, the director of sales who happened to be gay instead of being the gay sales director. So I've always joined companies. I never thought about, whether they were LGBTQ friendly. It's just something I never thought about when I was younger. But with David, always established myself, and then naturally people found out I was gay because I got more comfortable. But for a lot of people, that philosophy doesn't work. So I do think they do face a lot, and I honestly do think over the past 5 to 6 years, the transgender part of the LGBTQ community faced a lot more resistance and acceptance. And from the interview to the hiring to getting promoted in corporate America.
Great, thank you.
We definitely see that, and I like your philosophy too of it can be anybody, and it can be good in some fields and not good in others, but we all can face it, so it's not.
And there's discrimination based on weight, gender, accents, nationality. I mean, there's so much discrimination out there that sometimes we're all going to be faced with something at some point of our careers.
And so with that, how do you assist your clients in handling discrimination, whether it's the LGBTQ plus kind of discrimination or other kinds, and bias during the job search? I mean, of course, we're focusing on LGBTQ, but how do you support your clients through that?
Well, first, I think when I look at the whole spectrum of LGBTQ challenges, I kind of like have red light, yellow light, and green light. Red light, people just don't accept it at all, and it's sometimes very hard to change that point of view. The yellow light are people that, just my point of view, people don't fully accept it, but that tolerate it and it won't cause a problem. And then green light are those people that embrace it and have no problem at all. So when we're faced with challenges, whether it's during interviewing or starting a new company, sometimes you have to step back and just see where it's coming from. is it a culture in the company or the interview process, or is it just one individual's point of view or something one individual said? So sometimes I think we need to step back, assess the situation, and then try to respond to that situation depending on what it is. I think too many people jump to conclusions. I have some people that came to me, I'm never going to work for this company because that recruiter treated me so poorly. Well, you probably would never even see that recruiter again once you get hired. And that recruiter only worked for the company for 4 months. So sometimes we take something and we just blow it out of proportion. Now, on the flip side, there's just a rampant sense of a culture that does not exist in a company. So I think sometimes we just have to step back and analyze the situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. That objectivity rather than emotion, that
Yes.
come into play. Yeah, I like that.
But that's huge. Like I hadn't thought about it that way. You have to look at, is it the person or is it the company culture? Because I would probably have the same reaction. If the recruiter treated me that way, that would be my thought of, well, that's automatically the company culture. But like you said, now, if that recruiter was there for 10 years, yeah, start to think, yeah, maybe it is a company culture because they wouldn't be around that long if it wasn't their behavior wasn't acceptable.
True.
So that's an excellent point of looking at who is acting that way, what their role is in the company, what their tenure is in the company, and knowing that, hey, this is my cue to do more research.
Exactly. I mean, I remember being on one interview. This is going back a while ago. But during the interview, the recruiter says, wow, New York City was just a crazy freaking zoo this weekend. You couldn't do anything because of the gay pride parade. And it was just the tone she said it in. It wasn't even like a joke. It was kind of a joking thing because gay pride in New York City can be crazy and hectic. But the tone she said it, and again, I kind of like it stuck out of my brain. But when I look back, and again, that was one of those situations where she hasn't been there that long, and she doesn't reflect the company's point of view. At least I don't think she did. So I kind of let that slide. But if you're going through 5 interviews and that thread of underlying something. Sometimes we
Right.
just get that gut feeling, and we got to go with that gut feeling sometimes.
This video is brought to you by the Career Experts Group, a joint venture of master career practitioners and personal branding strategists, founded in 2021. You are invited to visit www.careerexpertsgroup.com to access a wealth of additional resources focused on the latest in career and hiring trends, insights, tips, and tricks that support your career journey, including past and present issues of our monthly newsletter, Your Career, Your Future. While you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure your notification setting is turned on so you don't miss any of our informative videos. Until next time, keep making the most of every opportunity. Stay tuned, stay empowered, and most of all, stay inspired.